I know recently I saw even in your publication that they were looking at closing schools because of small numbers. And my concern was we already have class sizes that are too big to meet the needs of learners, especially during this educational transformation where the ministry is saying we're going to look wherever possible to have learners of varying abilities within a classroom. If you're having learners of varying abilities within a classroom, then one, we need teachers to be trained to meet the needs of learners with varying abilities. We need consistent and up-to-date resources for learners of varying abilities, whereby you can teach the same concept but in different ways. So from the time we're looking at merging learners of all abilities in one classroom, the consideration should be how do we use these spaces that have small numbers to better support spaces that may be oversubscribed. How do we make that shift? And if you're going to say, well, persons are moving out of the community or there are less children in this area, then how do we still utilize the space in a way that we don't just close them outright? So that is a big concern for me as we talk about things like autism. Some of those learners will be verbal and non-verbal. How are those students communicating within the classroom? We are not big in Barbados on sign language. So even if the child is taught sign language privately, whether by the speech therapist, an interventionist, a specialist, how do teachers communicate with these learners? Are we going to use alternative communication systems? We don't have something like that currently here in Barbados in use in the public school system. So how are these students going to be communicating, especially if they're nonverbal? And even the ones with verbal abilities are sometimes limited. How will the teacher understand what is happening? How would they express themselves in a way that the teacher knows they're learning? They understand what is being taught, because you may have a challenge with expressive language, but you may still be learning. How does this child demonstrate? And I have learners that do come who have a challenge with expression, but they can still show me when I put the manipulatives down that they understand what it is that needs to be done, so they can still demonstrate their knowledge. So my biggest concern, as we have learners with other challenges, autism and ADHD, is how are we preparing teachers to meet these needs?